taking an interest in our young people and getting them those opportunities, those jobs that we know that exist, that sometimes they don't read the paper.
Yeah, and
they don't take the time to read the paper, and half of them don't even listen to the news and know about those jobs. It's our time to really go on the streets and help educate our children.
I think it's an excellent point. You got to put them to work.
We got to put them to work.
If they're not working on the good side, they're going to work on the dark side.
That's correct.
You got anything you want to add on that, Terrence?
Yes, I've heard a lot of good things here. I'm just actually blown away, but I'm just trying to think of what I can do and what the needs of the small businesses are. I agree with you, Senator, about the law enforcement, totally protecting businesses so that we can, but you know, there's stimulus money out there that needs to be helped, so I can't even employ a person on a regular basis because the sale taxes are off the roof. So I'm doing a job of like 3 or 4 people myself. So we need, you know, help on both ends of the spectrum to create jobs. And those of you out there that are talking about on the corners still, and I stayed out there a long time, for years myself, that aren't willing to, like, you know, be retrained, you know, got addicted to that fast money, that fast life. You know, the end is always the same: jails, institutions, and death for you gentlemen. So we want y'all to make the hard decisions and stop leaving these responsibilities of these kids with your grandparents who've already raised children. You know, and so to take advantage of some of these programs, and we need to hear y'all voices more, you know, on those, you know, acts. We need some of y'all to stand up, you know, excluding our, you know, our minority men, you know, to really make a stand, you know, stop creating these children that we're not going to be taken care of, and not stop making excuses that I have to live this destructive life and selling narcotics in a town where there's not even enough money to support this game, and you got drug dealers fighting against each other, causing things that happened yesterday or the day before with this senior
You're right, because there's not enough money to go around.
That's right.
You're right, and once one goes down, I mean, it's a vicious cycle, and you know, someone who has had a number of family members caught up in a lot of this foolishness. It's just so heartbreaking when you see young men and women fall into that same rut. Because once you get into that rut, it's like watching the squirrel. You know, when the squirrel or the what do you call that other animal when it's
chasing his
tail all around, and it's running around, and once you do that, it's hard to get out of that.
That's right.
It's hard to break that cycle, and you just got to stop. And so, you know, I just encourage people to get involved. That a lot of things are happening, and we got to be willing to fight for the change you believe in. I was at a young person, Joey Levette, his funeral. Well, he's one of the young people that got murdered on Hirschbeck. I went to his funeral on Monday, and actually it was on Tuesday. Was it on Tuesday? Thursday? It was Tuesday, and it was just heartbreaking. You know, it's so heartbreaking when you go to these funerals. And I encourage anyone who believes that they are a community person and they have a heart for the community to go to them. Don't just go to the kids that you know. Go to the ones that you don't know. Because it's easy to hurt for somebody that you know. But it's another thing when you go to see somebody else's pain as well who you don't know. You know, and I think that it makes you want to get even more involved. And as someone who, I didn't know the kid, he's a relative of his stopped me on the street. She walked up to me and said, "Could you please come this route? I want to get involved," etc. And I said, "You know what? I was thinking about going, but because you asked me, you call my office, give them the time. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm gonna come by and show my respect, etc." And I went, said a few words, or whatever. But you know, I think that some of the young people there, you know, we have to send that message that everyone's got to get involved. Everybody's got to get their stuff together. Not everyone's going to go to Harvard or Yale or UB or Howard University or Spelman College or whatever. The reality is, though, you can still be somebody. Is whether you own your own shoe store or you shine somebody's shoes.